Hey y'all, I'm just going to do a quick garden update for you from the first part 1 fall garden update. This will be part 2, just real quick, showing you how everything has started growing and we're harvesting certain things. So you can see I'm standing in the loofah gourd plant. We've got lots of loofah. We're starting to harvest those. The plant is starting to die, but even with it starting to die, some of them are, we're still getting nice blooms. So I harvested my first loofah yesterday. If you're on my Naturally Made by Angela Facebook page, you'll see some pictures there. So that is going great. I will be pulling those off because some of them are laying towards the ground and I don't want them to mold. And I'll pull them off and put them in the greenhouse on the wire racks to dry. So, alright, I'm going to show you the lettuce beds here. We are doing, this is the mixed lettuce, and if you remember, we had just put the rows out and seeded them, so they are doing great. This lettuce is very, very good. Jason and the kids and I, we eat salads. Somebody eats a salad pretty much every single night at dinner, and he takes it to lunch as well. Over here behind me, we have the carrots, and they are doing really well. We're harvesting some. I don't have any popping up here to show you, but we're harvesting some. The kids are having those for snacks and stuff, and we give some to the rabbits that we have too. And then let me show you the row that did not turn out. You always have a row that, well, you don't always, but we typically have things that go well and things that don't go well. And for some reason, this row right here, we planted spinach. It did not germinate for some reason. So, we just mainly have the mixed lettuce here, and then we staggered it and planted some a little later over in that other row. Over here we have lots and lots of cabbage. He had intended on planting just a little bit of cabbage with spinach, and the reverse happened for some. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. And then he has some kale over here. That is kale. And he's been eating that with eggs every morning. I'm not real crazy about kale. I know it's good for you, but I typically just use the mixed lettuce and eat that in my salad. So the mint is doing good. I am trying to do something every week, as in taking some of my herbs of some sort and dehydrating those and preserving them somehow. I did my moringa the other day, and we'll talk more about that another time. Here are the peas we showed you in part 1 where we had planted, and they're the kind that you don't have to put a big trellis up, so these are just sweet peas. They're not the ones that we trellised over there in the summer. So these are a little different, and they're really good. Jason puts them in his salad. And then we have some spinach right here. Just a little bit. It's doing good. The watermelons have just done great. He had this big, huge pile here, compost, and that's where we started them, and he's since made it bigger. But the watermelons have been going all summer. They're still going. The plants still look pretty good. And that guy over there will probably get eaten pretty soon. Some of these others that may not end up being good for us to eat, we'll just give to the chickens. They love the watermelon, so won't go to waste. This is Weston's part of the garden, and his zinnias are still doing great. And he has cilantro and carrots And he has a watermelon plant as well. Doing really good. So when we had a big storm last week or the week before, I can't remember, it knocked my moringa trees down. And but they're still alive. They're not in the best shape, but you can see most of the leaves are still pretty green. It's still down in the ground. So, as I said, we'll talk about that more later. I've been dehydrating the leaves and preserving the moringa. Let's see. The zinnias are on their way out, but they're still giving us a lot of blooms. And last week we had 5 or 6 monarch butterflies on them all the time. Now it's turned cold. They've already gotten out of here, headed south, but I can't say enough about zinnias. And of course our okra is finishing up. It's drying on the stalk here. We'll save those seeds. We've got some over there that's just starting to dry on the stalk. It did really good. We had quite a bit of fried okra this year. It was awesome. And of course our basil is still big and doing great, and we are I'm trying to dehydrate that. It just takes so long to dehydrate basil, but I'm trying to do the best I can. I want to get a bunch put up and have for the year. We still have some tomatoes there and over there. We still have the hot chili peppers. We have dehydrated a lot of those and stored those, so we can do whatever it is we need to do with those. I don't have a lot of recipes yet, but I'm sure I'll use them for something. And then we've got some tomatoes there. More zinnias, all that. So the garden is still doing pretty good. Jason's starting to clean up some of the stuff that's already finished, and we have a new wood chip delivery person, new company. The one we had before, we were glad to get the wood chips because they're free, but you would get stuff that's like, bigger pieces. And the guy that's coming now is bringing us, they're great. They're just perfect. So because we have inches and inches of wood chips down on our garden already, we can go ahead and put some of these newer wood chips down in places where we haven't covered it well. So that's kind of what he's been doing here. This is the area that we had our corn in. And if I can get over here, I'll show you our wood chip pile. It's another local tree company, and they are loving that they can deliver for free, and it helps them, helps us. So as we've said before, go ahead and find you your closest tree company and have them bring those wood chips out to you, and just store them out. Trust me, you're going to use them. The Back to Eden Garden method has really changed our life, because when we gardened before, we spent all our time trying to weed, and then we got burnt out and gave up. So now, if it's possible for you to spread the chips out, start doing that now for your garden for next year. It won't be as good as it will be the next year, but every year you do it, it gets better. Okay, y'all ready to see this? Behold, king of the wood chip pile. Yeah, so that's like 1, 2, 3, there's probably like 10 or 12 loads there. The kids love it because they can play on it, but yeah, there you go. And so what he's doing is, since we have most of our wood chips in the garden already, we are putting them down in a few spots up there. But we planted all these blackberry canes last year, these 2 rows right here, And so they need wood chips down, obviously, to keep the weeds and the grass and all that. And you have to put it down thick that first year. So that's kind of what he's doing here. He's starting to spread it out here around the blackberries. Gotta do it thick. And then that'll keep the weeds out, crabgrass, all that stuff will stay out of this area. And we can manage the blackberries a whole lot better. So it's a lot of work. It's for him. It's one wheelbarrow at a time. But he works hard, and it's going to pay off in the end one of these days. Let me show you what he's doing here in the chicken yard. Because our property, I don't know if you can tell, it goes downhill. See? It goes down. There's a creek down there. And so what was happening is the rain comes down the hill and it washes all this good, the chickens are in here doing their thing, which is great fertilizer for the garden. And this is eventually going to be really good soil, but it all washes down to the bottom down there. So he's been coming in here and piling. He got a bunch of logs, kind of made like a little dam right there. Can't really see it from here. And then he's been piling up all the wood chips on this side to try to slow the water down and keep it from just pushing all the good soil down to the bottom. So that has taken a while, but he's getting it, and the chickens love it. What are you doing, Kevin? There's Kevin. Everybody's doing good. They're molting still, some of them. So I'm just walking around. What else? Let's see. I'll show you some of the gourds that I have taken and put in the greenhouse. We use our greenhouse all year for different things, and this year we need to clean up in here, but I've laid some of them out. You want to lay it to where they can get air underneath them, so that's why this wire table here is perfect for that, so that they can dry. If they're not going to be able to dry on the vine, you need to put them in a place where they can dry all the way around without molding or touching like the grounds. And again, I pulled those because they were sitting on the ground and I didn't want them to rot. So that is about all I have. Just a garden number 2 update. And hopefully we'll have something else to video soon with me harvesting and trying to dehydrate herbs and things like that. Maybe I can update you on the moringa and things like that. So just a quick update. I hope you guys are doing good, and we're praying for all of you down in the Florida Panhandle, Flip Flop Barnyard. Especially praying for you. I know you're relocating right now, and just thankful for your positive attitude, that while you're going through this really hard time, you're staying positive, and we appreciate that and praying for you. So we'll talk to you guys next time.